Alright guys, we're gonna start pretty much the year with BTC, focusing on BTC just because the monthly looks horrendous. But if we jump right into the video, the yearly, even though there's not enough data, we have enough data here that once we have a nice expansion candle and a break above the previous closes, we have a follow through. Same thing here, even though this one was minimum, it still did a nice move up. We've done so here, right? And I see a continuation into 2025. I think that's what most people expect. Higher highs into 2025, obviously this is the yearly. Now, there's a small chance we get to trigger a multi-year run into BTC. We'll leave it for now, just mentioning that. But there's a small chance, just to keep in mind. Now, the quarterly. So yearly looks fine. Most likely there's a small chance that we'll hit into 70. I'm not a fan of getting into 70 area, as BTC on the weekly and daily gave off multiple entries since the 53k top. I think we caught 3 out of 5, 3 out of 6 into the Telegram group. So if there are 6 entries that you could have been able to get in before 70, I don't think it's gonna give you a chance to get another entry close to 70. Now, could it happen? Obviously, if we look into the monthly, it's a really bad monthly close. It looks something similar to the post-COVID right here. This guy right here. Now, the context is different. We have a nice structure here. We're breaking out new highs, massive expansion candle. We can possibly get a retest into this area. We'll try to study that into the daily time frame. Now, if we take a look into the RSI, every single time we break out of the highs of the current local highs, we have a massive move, right? So let's say this is local high here. Once we start breaking out of it, there's no return. Right here, the local high here, once we start breaking out, it goes into a parabolic move. Now the last one, we have a nice consolidation here. That's the local. We haven't actually moved out of this area. Now there's a point of concern if we take a look into it, that since we actually haven't breaking out of this area, that's where the possibility of retesting the 70k area comes into play. We need a move above this RSI, whatever it is, 75, 76, to start saying, you know what, we will not see below 70, 75 ever again, which most likely won't happen once BTC breaks out of this area. Now, the issue that I see, and I mentioned before, is having multiple entries in this area, having this massive consolidation with, keep in mind, all these local highs having almost the same price level. This is just an indication that we're gonna have a strong move up. So having said that, that's one of the reasons I don't see. So first reason, multiple entries into this area, pretty much like 60 entries, and then equal highs on most of the candles out of this consolidation, pretty much like 5 out of the 7 candles that we have here. That creates a massive expansion here. If it's lows or highs, whatever it is, now it's an up move. So I don't see a retest into the 70 for now, 75, as most people are calling, saying some of the articles that I read. Now, on the weekly, we can see a normal retest that I've been calling. Maybe it's right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's right here. Now, there's a normal retest or a possibility into the 83, maybe. 80, right? That's pretty much a low volume zone or FPG. BTC barely. This retest was just amazing, but I don't see a retest going all the way down into the previous expansion. I mean, previous impulse move. Once BTC goes, it goes. This was just a massive consolidation period, so it did retrace fully. I don't see a massive consolidation period here for all the way till May for us to say, you know what, we're gonna get 72. Now, I do see a retrace that I've been calling in this current Telegram with a possibility of getting to 84, 83. That most likely, if I'm not wrong, let's see, yeah, this area, the 83 area, is the mid-level of the expansion candle, which it just falls into a normal retest based on previous expansion candles. Once the entire trend on BTC used to move, I used to play like that based on the 2015 2017 moves. Used to get into mostly the weekly and monthly retracement levels of the expansion candles. So there's a small chance it didn't play it out like that on the monthly, but in the weekly for the previous run it did. Now here it hasn't played out for the monthly, only once in this area and this area. Now, could it happen? I expect it. I've been calling it and I'm waiting for it. If it doesn't happen, we have a different scenario. I don't see January as the move that people are expecting and we're gonna run on to BTC. I expect a consolidation or a retest into this area that I've been calling out. So if we don't get this level right here, I see a massive consolidation, tapping the highs, going back down, tapping the lows, and we're ready. And then we'll start triggering like that, and then maybe at the end of January, mid-Feb, we start moving up again. So for whatever happens at the beginning of the year, I don't see much of a move. So if you're still not buying BTC, you're still gonna have some time. If we get 82, don't be afraid, just start getting into your spot positions. If you wanna leverage, it's up to you. I wouldn't advise it to unless we flip completely or we do a deviation and reclaim. Now, so that's mostly BTC. I'm still bullish. I'm completely fine seeing price getting all the way down to like low 80s. Now, there's obviously a classical trend line here that could potentially get triggered, right, on an entry 70, which will be pretty much aligning with a monthly open. So 70 will be my lowest point in case something happens, and let's say once Trump gets into office, the market decides to breathe a little bit, retraces, there's no movement, nothing for January, February, maybe it starts moving, and then we see prices all the way down to 70. I don't think it's gonna happen. It could happen, obviously. So just something to keep in mind, and it will just be an amazing opportunity, and else will probably go all the way down to the previous impulse move. So now, just keep in mind, bullish for BTC. January will be a slow month, in my opinion. Consolidation if it doesn't get down to 81. Now, let's see what I have here. I see this mostly, right? So if we calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we got the high, we got the lows out of this consolidation. We're pretty much halfway there. So I see all the way to February. Yeah, February looks pretty much similar into a month that we'll see some movement into BTC. Now, BTC dominance is getting my attention again for the main reason that it tapped into the POC, price of control. Nice reaction. The only thing that it will get me to call a move into back into BTC if you have alts is if we start getting to the 60% area once again, and then that's most likely going to trigger a move into the 68, I don't think 72, but the next move will be 68. So just keep it, yeah, so just keep in mind, once we move about 60, 68 will be most likely the area that we're gonna see. Now, there's a trend that expired at the end of the year. There's a last trend that is relatively active in February. So I don't know, if you give me a 50-50 chance, I'll probably still hold my alts, because the moment this thing just starts to retrace, for you to start positioning into alts will be extremely hard, as you'll probably be forced to jump into expansion candles, which is fine once we have an alt season, but I'm not completely comfortable building a strong position into expansion candles, or rather just build into consolidation or the lows, which is happening right now. I'll cut this video just mostly for BTC, and then we'll do a video based on altcoins. But just to finish it off, ETH BTC, so just keep in mind, above 60, most likely 68. This is just gonna consolidate in my opinion for now. Below 54, alt season. There's been a couple graphs of the number of days that from here to here, which most likely is gonna start, and we're gonna have an alt season. ETH BTC, I think it's just calling for that. We're still within the pivotal area, been calling ETH will start moving since we have a nice reaction of these lows. We want to get above the 0.4 area. We failed to do so. It's now consolidating and is trying to validate the impulse or the reaction of these guys right here. If we lose this level, then we're done, most likely going to this area. But I'm pretty optimistic for now that we range into this area or reclaim this area, right? So just keep that in mind. It's been holding off so far, so no signs for me to do anything, and just wait. Cutting off the video. Happy New Year, guys. Just stay focused. Overall, things look fine, even though the monthly looks pretty bad, but we can take over this monthly in February with no issues. So 70k, nothing is gonna happen. So if we get 82, 86, will be pretty good areas for us to start getting into BTC from when we call 107, 108. I think it's somewhere around here. Yeah, 107, 108 was pretty much the area to start the risking. We'll probably start. This is actually not a bad area for me either. Right? It's just holding off the equal lows. Nice reaction. We can start playing some small swing positions if the opportunity arises. It's the end of the year. Really not want to take any positions, so I'll cut the video right here. Right, guys. See ya.